So in the last video, we finished up with the head. Sorry, let me turn it back on. Something like this. The neck's in now, the back of the head, which got the ear to do really, and then said about the mouth bag. Could do an eye bag. Not everyone does eye bags, but basically it's the same as the mouth bag, just to fill in behind the eye. And we're pretty much there. Obviously, with the mouth bag, you do the tongue, do teeth separately. I won't be showing that, obviously. With the skills you've got, you should be able to make some teeth. So looking at the ear. Now, when we look at this reference image we've got here, it's quite detailed. It is one of the hardest bits to model, I imagine. Personally, it is for me. So just have a look at some lower poly geometry. Something like this is much better to work with. It's a bit of a smooth looking version of it. You know, some people do this where they draw literally the lines on first to try and plan things, which is a good technique. Again, something like this. So my plan really is to sort of bring that hole we've got in there, to extrude it inwards and extrude it out, and then sort of build our way in there and make quite a basic ear. I'm not looking for anything complex. Could even do something like this if you're going for more of a cartoony style, which is much easier to do. Again, we'll be going for something similar to this, but maybe a little bit more realistic. But yeah, that's really what we're looking for. So, just check we're definitely on. Yep, perfect. Okay, so to start, we'll just grab this hole really, and we're going to try and extrude it. So Alt select that, extrude it outwards, and you're already starting to get the shift in here, I think. Your ear's going to start popping out. Now, one thing I do, I try to straighten up my vertices, so I just used it, and then use the rotate tool a lot more. So I know the ear's sort of rotated like that, and also rotated towards the front, so the back end sticks out. So you're looking at something like that, maybe from the top view. You can just pull that back a little bit. And then you may want to scale it a little bit just to sort of shape it. So scale it up a little bit, out a little bit, and let's pull that back. Okay, so now we're just going to grab some of these in. So basically you've got to think about the shape of the ear. So some of these are going in, sorry you can hear noises in the background. Family is around. So let's pull some of these in, pull some of these back. So we're just trying to get that ear shape roughly. Nothing too perfect. Or something like that. And then if we select those again, just 1 second, just pause, see what them, get some of the noise down a little bit. And then back. Hopefully the noise won't come back. So, continuing with the ear. As we kind of pull this out, we've kind of got the back of your ear sort of pulls out. We can always add extra loops here to sort of give that curve at the back of the ear if we need to. Really, the only bit that doesn't do that is around here. This is kind of quite smoothly connected, so some of this we will just pull out a little bit, just so it's a little bit more realistic in that sense. Yeah, so you're getting something a bit more like this. And then what we're going to want to do is, again, select what we've got and extrude. So extrude it inwards a little. I'm going to get the scale tool and scale it in. And this is going to start to create the little, mainly the bit sort of sticks out around your ear. So again, I'm just going to sort of shape this up like I said, I'm just doing a very basic here. I'm not looking to try and do anything complex at this point. So like this bit of the lobe, I'm going to pull this up because I know I want that to be quite big, and then it sort of thins out throughout. Now, again, it probably doesn't look like much right now, but it's that basis you're starting with, and then you can sort of build out from there. So again, so these will go in. These would all get pulled out. So something like that. I was saying this sort of comes in. It builds out a little bit. So sort of it's a little bit bigger down here, and then it starts to get thinner as it goes up the ear. Now we've got this sort of shape. I'm going to select it again. Select those. So Alt, click, select them all. Extrude in again. Now this is where we maybe want to direct it a bit. So you have this little bit, as you can see on the image behind, this little bit that sticks out here, and then the rest kind of goes back on itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this part as that little bit that sticks out and covers the hole, and the rest as it would normally be. So this is sort of the little bit that we're talking about. Again, shape that, maybe scale it in a little bit. Well, really actually goes out and then it comes in. So again, we're probably going to do the extrude again. Scale this right in. Now, starting to create this sort of ear shape. So as you can see now, we are starting to get a bit of an ear. It's very basic, but for what we need right now, this is probably fine. Do a few little tweaks. So, like I said, this bit doesn't really have it come out like that. It kind of comes over. It's only up here that it starts to go in like that. This bit might actually. This bit actually might even come out something like that. Yep. And then we're going to sort of bring this right in. So we've got a small version sort of here in the middle, and then we can extrude that back and then sort of finish connecting up. So again, select those edges and scale that in. Inwards. So this hole we're left with, we're going to actually use as the actual hole to extrude back from. So I'll just move this down into place. So for something like this, now obviously it's going to need tweaking. So let's pull these up. So I'm going to want to bring these right in. The hole to be much smaller than it currently is. Something like that. Again, these are way too big at the moment. something like that. Now, I'm not too happy with that at the moment, because like, if I pull out, you have got an ear. It is sort of shaped there. I want some more definition. So what I'm going to do is, what I want to define the back of the ear a bit better, so I'm just going to loop cut in there. And then grab the edges on the back side, it's like on this side. Pull them back in towards the centre, but back in. That's the main thing. And then some of them from the top, so this one, this one, this one. Down a little bit. I feel like that vertice on its own needs to be a little bit further out. And then a little bit at the bottom. So some of these should be coming up. Especially this one. Again, back towards the ear. Again, potentially this one as well. So that when we're coming away, we are getting that sort of ear shape that bit more. Again, very blocky at the moment. But it's getting there. Again, you could add another loop just to define that edge. Grab that, put that more towards up here, and then we could have two potentially on there. Then another here, just to sort of give that emphasis. So grab these ones and pull them out slightly. Again, that's sort of giving that a bit more curve. Here you can see it going in. I think one of the things I want to do is sort of define this a little bit more, so I'm going to try and force this to be much closer together. Let's stick out a little bit more. Again, I want some more loops. So, and again, with the ear being cut off in its directions, we've kind of got quite a lot to work with, so it's not too bad. That one I've just done. Grab the slide tool, just to select that, where you can slide them towards the edge. Could even add another one in just here and scale that. Scale that in that direction. Just to give it that a little bit more. Now, this bit is getting a little bit messy. In places, so just be careful. Again, you can imagine the actual like properly modelled ear is much more complex than this. And then I'm going to select those faces and pull those back and inwards probably. It's much more defined ear now coming about. We'll get a few harsh edges, so again, we'll potentially move some of these. Stop that from happening. And then, just to sort of finish up, we're just going to select these, extrude them back a little bit, and then extrude it back again quite a bit. Obviously redirect this and line this up. be like sort of your inside of your ear, so that's going to go like down and in. And then we're just going to close this off, so so we just check how many we've got. 12 faces, which is perfect, nice and even, so we can bridge. So what I'm going to do is just set 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4 on the other side, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Bridge those, put a loop cut in the middle, and then nicely just like connect those up with the merge verts. That's same at the bottom. And then what that means is we can just do a bit of defining, so I'm just going to put another loop cut in here, make that really close to the bottom. That. There's one on the edge, the side of it. I've already got that one there. I'm going to do one on here, and just bring that in close. And just another one just for keep things nice and clean. Again, that one could be like pushed back a little bit if everything else is pushed back. So one way to do this would be to sort of go around here and then go to select, or if you have a numpad you could do it on the numpad and select more a few times till you get to the point you want. So there, and then just grab those and get and pull them in. Redirect that. Again, not the most perfect here, but it'll be enough for what you need at this moment in time. So for example, if you wanted to add another loop cutting in now down here, it goes right across around the back of the head and connect back up, same there, to sort of give that little bit more shape. So that one's not too bad, and then what that means is we can then grab these vertices, reshape this into that sort of bit of the ear that sticks out. Trying to pull that back in. And the same here, so all these come out. Because these are changing direction quite a lot, like that one needs to be pulled out and brought closer in. So you're getting a lot less of these sharp shadows. That's giving me that little lump that sticks out. So again, you could spend more time cleaning that up, but that's the ear sort of done as far as we're going to take it. Again, it's a great place to start to then, you know, sculpt on top of and things like that. It's just to try and get that in there. Obviously, if you want to spend more time cleaning that up, adding extra loops, that's up to you. But that's where I'm going to leave it. Just again to show that subsurface. Again, even on like a 2 subsurface, it's already looking a little bit more like an ear. You might want to pull some of this down, reshape it, but it gives you that distinctive look of an ear. Again, you could pull some of these verts out if you know how far out the ear sticks. So if you want it to be more defined, you could select some of these vertices little bit fiddly now because we've got so much going on. But we could select these and pull these out. Just play around with it until you get something you're happy with. Stick out a bit more like that. So that's what we're going to end this video. In the next one we'll look at the mouth bag and the tongue, and then actually I'll just really quick, I'll just add a sphere in. So if you ever want to add an eye in at some point, just add a UV sphere, and then rotate that 90 degrees this way. And then scale that into place. So make sure you scale that in all directions. You're looking for this to sort of line up with the eye. What I like to do is go from the side, turn on wireframe, just pull it in to place, something like that. Now, looking for is sort of it's probably never going to be perfect to begin with. You want it sort of centered like that. And then what you would do is, if you've got gaps like this, you go back into your model and start to pull some of these back. So they're going behind the eye. And then just move your verts around so clearly there is a bit of a gap at the top. There's still a bit of a gap. I know, it's all there now. So yeah, you could do something like that, and then you can kind of see what it's going to look like with an eye in. Okay, so we're going to leave that video there. So the last bit of the head really is the mouth bag, and then it's really up to you just to sort of clean it up, add extra loops, change some of the shape, like move some of the verts around the cheekbone to move the cheekbone up and so forth. I will likely do a video at some point on blend shapes and show you how these loops that we've been making are going to be really useful for you doing different heads to be able to animate it. But yeah, for now, that's where I'm going to leave it. Again, you can move these back so you've got less of a gap here.